Welcome to the Windows Internet Forensics lecture of Digital Forensics course. Previously, we have covered nearly all of the lectures: Introduction to Data Forensics, Computer Systems for Forensics Examiners, File System Fundamentals, Evidence Acquisition Networks, Live Response, and Windows Forensics. Now we would like to focus on Windows Internet Forensics. In this lecture, we will mention the use case of Internet Forensics for Windows, some registry hives that you can check the previous connections that has occurred on the Windows operating systems, and we would like to also mention basics of capturing via Wireshark tool. In the beginning, I would like to mention the Internet Forensics for Windows. The use case is mostly like that. A computer or an image of the computer is captured with the observation of legal authorities, so you have rights to manipulate and check the data within the Windows operating system. You can do it either by booting a captured image, or you can keep the captured image and try to live on the Windows. At the end, you always need to have access to the Windows registry. When you have the access to the Windows registry, there are very easy tricks that you can check many network details to reason about the computer's previous connections, where it has been, so you may collect reasonable evidence by checking these settings. First thing I will mention is the HKey local machine system current control set services key. Under this key, you can see many protocols. Two interesting protocols among these are LAMMAN and TCP/IP, for example. There is also a case that you can check the key under services. The name is TCP/IP6. Under LAMMAN, you can see the net BIOS connections, or let's say Windows shares. If the computer has any Windows shares, you can see such possible shares under services LAMMAN key. Also, if you check the TCP/IP, you can see the possible available IP addresses and the relevant network interface cards together with these IP addresses, and many details about those IP addresses, something like the MAC addresses, physical addresses of network interface cards, DNS servers, and so on. So this is useful to understand the last active IP configuration for a Windows operating system. The second one I will mention is the HK local machine software Microsoft Windows NT current version network list. Under this key, you can go for NLA cache internet, and under NLA cache internet, you will see the previously registered domain names, and this may be a very relevant evidence if you would like to locate if one of the computers has ever connected to one of the domains or visited some other domain than the expected. This if the user is not actually trying to delete the settings, whenever a user connects to a domain, all these settings remain, and they are kept persistently in this registry. Next one is the, again after network list, signatures unmanaged. This is a list of network names that are used by the computer during the lifetime. If there isn't any, if the user doesn't want to delete anything from this registry willingly, most of the time, every network that the computer registered are stored in this registry key. So you can actually go through the history of computers, all the networks that the computer has been connected at least once. So thinking about today's wireless area, you can actually reason about the Wi-Fi ID names, and you can actually reason which coffee shops the owner of the computer has visited, which companies or which locations the owner of the company visited, just by decreasing the possibilities in a possible Wi-Fi name set. And finally, under this one, I will mention the network list profiles. In this register directory, you can see all the profiles registered in the computer, and also the generation time of each profile, and also the last access time of each profile. These are stored as UTC strings, so you need to check that you note that UTC string down and then convert it to the Greenwich Mean Time value, and then maybe you need to add also time zone. But at the end, you actually have a very clear, distinct time information to see which of the networks have been used and at what time. This should be very beneficial if you would like to extract some information from a captured device. One more thing that we could add about the internet forensics is listening the whole traffic that is coming to and going through the host to the endpoint. The best way, or the easiest way to do that on a Windows machine, is installing a free tool called Wireshark, and Wireshark will actually copy all of the incoming and outgoing messages from each layer, and it would be possible to analyze these traffic and try to understand what is going on with the network. When you install Wireshark and start collecting capture information, a packet capture, it's called sometimes PCAP, the first thing you will notice is that the network messages, the number of network messages is huge. So the monitoring is a mess. It is always better to do some kind of basic filtering, and after this filtering, you can clear something out, and you would like to focus on the thing that you would like to see. For example, if you would like to see only the packets going through, coming from host with the IP address 1234, you can generate a filter by writing host space 1234 as an IP version for others. Or if you would like to monitor only the network that is in the 1234 address and with the net mask 24, which actually stands for any computer that resides in the network 123 and anything, you can define it by writing net space 1234/24. If you would like to check for a specific protocol, for example, if you would like to check for TCP, you can just write TCP, and then you can say the source address of the packet should be in the network 1234/24 and the destination port should be 8080. Again, you can negate your filters. For example, you can just write down not IP and see all the messages that are not actually an IP packet. This is the completion of this lecture. Thank you and see you in the next lecture.